Yes, I'm not underestimating the issue. Yes, the speech will be ready for tomorrow. Yes, I've got all the research findings there are things I might need, and I'll go over those tonight. But I don't think much more needs to be done. Yes, I know. Yeah, not sold at all. Yeah. Look, I better get on with the final touches. I'll see you at the debate tomorrow. Okay, cheers. You too. Right. What support her department needs to tackle the local effects of climate change?
Moving into my own place felt like the first breath of fresh air I'd had in years.
Who the hell are you?
Oh, life before that had always been cramped. There was never enough space around the dinner table, never enough minutes in the shower, never a spare scrap of floor in the hallway during the school rush. Well, I never had someone to be, well, me.
Sorry, if I could just interrupt you. How did you get into my house?
Funny what you lose in a rush, isn't it? I lost my voice. Reckon it got squeezed out of me like juice. It must have settled into the nooks and crannies of my lot's council house.
Look, if it's about the delay in the housing plans for tomorrow's constituency,
Oh, my new house was so quiet. The way I liked it. No damp spots in the corners, no one to shout over. Even bought myself a rabbit. She's called Whisper, timid little thing.
What are you doing here? What do you want?
Nothing but peace. It was glorious, the way I liked it. The job, not so much. I never really fell in with the crowd there. I'm not one for politics.
Well, you're in the wrong bloody house.
They talk about the news a lot. I avoid it all usually. Too depressing. Leaves me with this pit in my tummy. But I try to get involved. Michelle is a vegan. And I have tried one of those new fake sausage rolls everybody was on about. Oh, it was alright. I gave up the odd quid for Anthony's Beach Clean fundraiser. I laugh when they laugh and tut disapprovingly at the right times, I think.
Are you here about the debate at the Commons tomorrow? I can assure you things are under control. I never fail to represent you and your fellow.
A lot of them are really worried about the weather. Wildfires on the other side of the world, floods, heat waves. Oh, it's enough to make you want to cry, thinking about all the lives destroyed and the homes lost. So I shut it off. I spend my days looking forward to an evening bath and a quiet night reading with Whisper. Nothing to worry about there.
But this is exactly what I'm here for. I represent you on all issues that fall outside your jurisdiction or power. There is absolutely no need for despair. You should watch the debate tomorrow and see what plans are being made.
Always worried about the weather, they are.
You are being ridiculous. You know that.
It's raining a lot here lately.
Oh.
Haven't you noticed?
Now what? This isn't a bloody breakfast at the MPs. What are you doing in my house?
Been feeling a bit unfulfilled lately, to be honest.
Not my problem. I'm calling the police.
Right.
I'm calling the police right now on the landline.
I did everything right up until this point. Grades were above average most of the time. Managed to get married, had a kid. Put down the metaphorical white picket fence.
I am warning you. There will be consequences for all of this.
Look at my son. He's so beautiful. Right age for Power Rangers. Not yet the right age to tie my shoelaces. But he's got time to figure out all that complicated stuff. No need to rush him, right? Well, suddenly I'm reading there is rush after all. I read that we've only got 12 years left.
Now listen, that's a vast oversimplification for what was said at the UN.
To get back on track with carbon emissions if we want to be zero by mid-century. Which means if something isn't done about it soon.
Wait. Is this what this is? A protest? You break into my house to preach Nothing to me? Well, if you want me to talk catastrophe in tomorrow's speech, you are going to be sorely disappointed in the morning.
I've never really had much to complain about. Should I even really be complaining now? A warm bed, well-behaved boy with food and shoes he can't tie. My whole world in a single scented patch. That's enough, right?
Get out of my house! Get out of my house okay, how much you want?
Only language ever understood.
Money?
Fighting! Fighting for the right things, you know? You stake your place at your job. You stand up for the skinny one in the schoolyard scraps. My old dad's a fighter. He gets on with things. He bruises easily, gets tired quick. I don't think there's a limb on him that don't give him grief. But I wouldn't cross him and expect to make it out alive. He gets on with things.
Please, tell me what's going on. Is it about me voting against the wind turbine? About me not showing up to your demonstrations? Do you need funding?
I did what needs to be done too, mind. The fight for clean dishes, the fight for drawing up barbs, and even clearing up the messes when Dad got incontinent a few years earlier than people pretended.
Please, just tell me something, or leave my house!
Things are getting worse.
Have you seen the weather lately?
Things are getting worse. I'm just floating, bobbing along and burning rubber. Doing nothing.
Oh, dreadful, yes. Did you watch the news? No, I didn't catch it myself. But I'm sure everything will be fine.
Things are getting worse.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
You're being absurd! There is no cause for alarm!
My daughter's a fighter too, mind. And we fight all the time. She don't realise how good she's got it. But you've always got to have a cause, even when
There is no cause for alarm.
she says the sea levels are rising. I say it's bollocks.
Oh, I see. Well, the current climate issues are nothing that Parliament cannot handle.
That it, doing what it's always done there. It's no conspiracy. Every time a new politician comes on the telly, we butt heads. She says 0 emissions. I say it ain't realistic.
Quite right. And as you'll likely hear at the debate tomorrow, we are setting a gradual reduction of emissions to comply with if you're just in your own homes. View the debate tomorrow.
I worked damn hard to bring her up so she wouldn't have to fight, wouldn't have to lift a finger. University educated. Opportunities I never had. She's taking days off work to put up signs. She's risking arrest, risking her job.
Disrupting the processes of government that are tackling issues quite right.
Awful, isn't it?
There's something on the horizon. We can all feel it.
This alarmist attitude is helping no one. Now, if you'll kindly...
Feels like talking to a brick wall. Just one.
I agree. Awful, isn't it?
We need to listen to.
Around us, people who've taken more beating.
Have you seen the weather awful?
Get out of my house! Get out of my house or shut them!
No avoiding, no escaping. It's
Awful, isn't it?
Everybody, quiet, order, please! Yeah. Oh, thank you. Now,
My home's gone.
What?
Last night, everything was fine. I fed Whisper. He fell asleep watching the telly in my room. Slept right through, been working so hard lately. I woke up the next morning and the power was out. Something just seemed wrong. So I went downstairs and first of all there was this smell, sort of rancid, like a blocked drain. I never reached the bottom of the staircase. It was fully submerged. There was water everywhere, maybe 2 feet of water.
that's dreadful to hear.
I just stood there and the first thing I thought was, God, I hope this doesn't end up on the bloody news. So I went back upstairs and looked out the window. More water rushing down the street. The car was in the drive. That was going to be a complete write-off. People were up to their waists holding up tellies and boxes and dogs. And that's when I thought, oh God, the rabbit.
Jesus Christ. Where were the council? The emergency services? Did you get out? Is that why you're here?
I made it out in one piece.
Thank goodness.
They put me up in a caravan. While everything gets sorted out. 3 weeks of microwave meals, bottled water, a bed that's not mine, barely room to breathe. Oh, but it's dry. I've been robbed since that flood. Apart from the electronics upstairs that weren't ruined. They haven't quite put a figure on the damage yet, though it's expected to be in the tens of thousands. I have insurance, but all that paperwork.
I'm sure the council will move things as quickly as they can.
I'm supposed to go back to work soon. But all I do is lay curled up in bed. Every time it rains, I think about how much everything's going to cost. All the family photos I've lost. The album soaked. And the laptop fried. That awful sewage smell. And how frightened Whisper must have been when the water I'm sorry.
We will support you through this. You can rebuild.
My son's growing up too fast. Something tells me that the heat passes and magic kisses just aren't going to cut anymore.
Casey's barking at shadows these days. Thinks there's a crisis right on her doorstep.
Not far around the corner.
Submerging my home.
Well, I've seen none of it. My four walls ain't crumbling, and yours?
Tied to the bone! Like a shell. All my things are in a skip, and I'm feeling as hollow as the holes.
Yes, regrettable as it may be, it's not fantasizing about the apocalypse we need at the plate tomorrow. You need more people running your emergency services, evacuation plans prepared in advance, housing policy amendments. Not me. Me prophesizing about your end times, about your bloody rabbit. Okay, perhaps that was a bit insensitive of me. What I mean to say is,
He's gone.
he's right there.
And we've taken it slow, alright? In the garden, enjoying the rare patch of sun between all the rain. Not the wetness cooled things down much, but it was a record I eat, it was. And Casey cried, reaching for the fire extinguishers. I just called it muggy. Said plenty of storms were in our way. 1 minute, you're on my arm. Or the next he won't. Gone. He'd always been frail. I was a man of steel on paper legs. Each stroke, they said. Chances heightened by his age and condition. Underneath, his body just gave up. Casey's choked away buttercoats with a bullet, saying we've done this to Dad that we cut his life short. There's plenty more like him. Why can't you just let him rest 1 minute? I cried. I really burned a bridge there. The last thing I heard, accused me of standing by. Doing fuck all. Maybe he's right. I lost my fight.
Why tell me this?
Because I just stood by.
I just stood by.
What about you, Ghostly Christmas present? What's your story?
Everything seems fine on the surface. But how can we do nothing when we're all collectively perfect?
What can you do?
So I figured I had to do something. That something was research in a hastily painted sign. When you have kids, it means you've got to be prepared for change. We made a day of it, me and the kid, even packed a lunch. It was raining during the speeches. Weather, words, made me feel
Lost. Powerless.
passion. The reality of how much needs to change, how much is at stake, is enough to lodge a splinter of grief so deep in your chest that you'll never prize it out. We joined the march at our own pace, but we did. Stopped halfway with a Power Rangers lunchbox, and then made it to the end. The atmosphere was incredible.
What good did the marching do? What were you, a flood blockade? And a nice air conditioner?
I think the most empowering bit was the support. There were people leaning out their flat windows, waving to us as we went by. I'd expected hecklers, maybe even a few stiff-shouldered policemen keeping us in line. But there were smiles everywhere. We were all pushing in the same direction, pushing for change. And the more of us that push, the more someone with the power to make that change would listen. On our own, we're not much. And if no one listens, I suppose we're no more than a glorified parade either. We need you.
Can't undo the damage that's been done. What can I honestly give people like you?
A voice.
The strength to fight.
Change. We all have our parts to play. There are people shouting at the top of their lungs and pushing forward with their shoulders. To get someone with the power to make change, someone like you, to listen. But the urgency lit a spark. And there'll be others that will come. The disparity will grow the more desperate we get.
Save us the strength.
The sorrow.
Now you move.
What on earth are you still doing up at this hour? Isn't the rain supposed to help you sleep? Yeah, the news about the floods are keeping me up too. Listen, how much coffee do you reckon you can bring to the debate tomorrow? Yeah, there's the speech. It needs amending. Okay, right. I've got some changes to make.